This video was brought to you by yugiohmint.com. Check out their selection of over 20,000 cards and prices better than TCG Player.
Alright, what is up, YouTube? MCool40 here, giving you guys a pretty awesome deck profile of 7 Seas Pirates. I want to give a quick shout out to Forever After Collectibles. If you guys haven't checked out their Kickstarter for Crusaders of Lonia, please do go check it out. It's a new up-and-coming game. Kickstarter ends in the next 2 days, and I'm sure having another card game at your interest might not be a bad idea, so check it out down below along with their store. So, 7 Seas, this is the upcoming meta deck from Japan. This deck so far has won 2 of our locals. Haven't had much testing outside of that yet, but nonetheless, it's still a very powerful deck, and I'll explain some of the things. So, our starter is Peter, the Ghosty. Counterblast 1, put the top 2 cards of your deck into the drop zone, put this unit into your soul, and if you have a Granblue Vanguard, draw a card. So, you get to mill 2, and go into the soul to fuel your cutlasses, and you get to draw a card, which is extremely important for maintaining a lot of advantage when playing this deck. Pressure, 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 pressure. Your grade 3 lineup. 4 of the Lord of the 7 Seas, Night Mist, the young Break Ride, which you pretty much have access to through your other grade 3, which is the 7 Seas Peligant. He's in your drop zone, counterblast 2 at the beginning of your ride phase. If you have a grade 2 or greater Vanguard with 7 Seas in its card name, you can ride this unit as stand, which is extremely important. If you're not too familiar with your 7 Seas Break Ride, when a Granblue rides this card, choose your Vanguard. It gets 10,000 power, and choose up to 2 Granblues from your drop zone, call them to rearguard, and those units get plus 5,000 power until the end of this turn, and they get retired during the end of this turn. So, incredibly powerful combo, as I'm pretty sure you're aware of. But you're probably like, well, why is the deck good? Because you're going to be abusing most of the hollow ability with your resurrection. So, the broken grade 2s. We'll start with Cannonball Guy. Skeleton Cannoneer. So, when this thing's hollowed, when it's placed on rearguard from your drop zone, you may pay this cost if you do. Choose one of your opponent's rearguards, retire it, then draw a card if this unit's hollowed. This is extremely powerful. It gives Granblue the ability to take out an opponent's back row monster and put yourself in a really powerful position by being able to just draw more cards. This deck doesn't play draw triggers for that very reason. Also, stand triggers become ridiculous with some of these cards. Next up, we are playing 3 of the Negro Rook. When he's hollowed, this unit attacks, it gets 2,000 power, and if it's hollowed, it gains 5,000. So, he goes up to 12, goes up to 16k attacker by himself, which is pretty ridiculous for setting up combos. In order to get most of your hollow cards in the graveyard, though, you're going to rely on your starter and young Ruin Shade. Ruin Shade, put the top 2 cards of your deck in the drop zone, and he gets 2,000 power when he battles. Extremely important for your combo ability. I know some builds are only currently playing 3 of him, but we found it to be best if you're going with these. And then our last grade 2 is the Slash Shade. Just counterblast 1, choose one of your grade 1 or greater rearguards, retire it, and if you have a Vanguard 7 Seas in its card name, you may pay this cost. If you do, this unit gets 2,000 power. You call it and it gets 2,000 power. So, it's the same thing as the other grade 1 that you play. Lets you revive it from the drop zone. This guy, just choose one of your other cards, not named this guy, of course, and call it. So, as long as you have a Granblue Vanguard, definitely sending up combos. Next up, other grade 1s, 4 Cutlass, extremely important to maintain draw power, freeing the soul, and giving you the ability to abuse this guy. So, draw power is very important in this deck. 4 of the Unflipper, you definitely need that. And then last but not least, 4 Stride Fodder, bringing your grade 1 lineup to a close. Not really much else to say there. Triggers. This ridiculous card, you hollow it when it's placed on rear guard. You can choose one of your other units and it gets 10,000 power until the end of the turn. And when this thing goes into your drop zone, it goes back to the deck. Probably the most ridiculous card. Just the ability to call it out with the Break Ride. Give it 5,000 power. Hollow it. Give another thing 10,000 power. Your columns can get really ridiculous. Also, you can have infinite recycling with this thing the later the game goes, which is pretty important. Then we're playing 8 crits. Honestly, you can pretty much always have your soul full if you need to reuse the Rough Seas Banshee. It's definitely something you can do. I don't really recommend it, but you can. And then 4 of the Dr. Rogue heal. But once again, still probably the most important card of the deck. So that's the main deck. Strides, pretty vanilla. 4 of your 7 Seas Night Mist. This will pretty much be how you're playing your game against Link Joker. It's just if you have a Heart with 7 Seas, counterblast 1. And then choose up to 2 cards from your drop zone and call them to separate rear guards. At the end of the turn, they go bye-bye. You typically use this to try to avoid the lock mechanic, or use this as a war of attrition against your opponent. It's definitely a very powerful card, nonetheless, and fills up your board and can make your Chaos matchup pretty much tolerable. Playing 1 of the Bandit's Ruin, 1 of the Broken Ghosty Stride, and then last but not least, 2 Night Rose. Night Rose is very costly, actually. For GB2, it's Counterblast 2. Choose a face down one of this guy, turn it face up, and then when this unit attacks, may pay its cost if you do choose up to 2 cards from your drop zone and call them to different rear guards in different rows. I mean, yes, this can get you 5 attacks, but sadly, the Counterblast is a bit heavy in my opinion. It's basically going to be used for a finisher, in my opinion. Obviously, this thing is a lot more powerful. Yes, it doesn't give you 5 attacks, but it still gives you the ability to get most of your hollow abilities running, and it's not like you don't have broken cards like this at your disposal. So, well, that is the new 7 Seas deck. Check out Yu-Gi-Oh! Mint Forever After Collectibles down below. Check out their Kickstarter for Crusaders of Liurnia. And well, guys, I'm out. Peace.